Yo, DisThunder here. Today we're going to take a look at the Mezco Toys 112 Collective Mighty Thor, a classic Silver Age edition, we'll say. And the short version is, yeah, I like him. He's good. He has a kind of crucial flaw. We will no doubt get into that. Surprise, surprise, we'll be in Articulation and we'll get to that part. But outside of that one issue, this is a pretty damn good figure. As is becoming a new trend of late with my videos, I don't really have any background to give you on Thor because there's really no need for me to give you background on Thor. He's freaking Thor, and everybody knows who he is, especially in a post-MCU world. Everybody knows who Thor is, whereas maybe 20 years ago, you might have needed a little bit of backfill, but I'd have to bring up like Adventures of Babysitting or something. But now, nobody needs that. We're all covered. I will say that as far as design and inspiration, I figure this to be kind of a Walt Simonson kind of Thor. That's what I get out of it. More diehard Thor guys may have a different opinion, and they're probably right because I'm not a huge Thor guy. But I think he looks great, actually. I think the combination of different textures and the materials makes him stand out in what's otherwise maybe could be kind of a plain costume. I think it pulls it off extremely well. Let's get this show on the road. Let's start talking about Articulation. First off, good stuff. I want to bring up the double-jointed neck for the ball-jointed head, and this actually has really good range of motion, and I especially like this kind of flexible rubbery material used for the hair. It doesn't really get in the way at all, which is correcting decades of bad Legend stuff. Here is no butterfly joint on that shoulder joint. The usual ball jointed shoulder, bicep swivel. Pretty good range on that ball shoulder. The tips of his tunic don't really get in the way. They're soft. Got those new style double jointed elbows. Still don't know how I feel about those just yet. And the same wrist as you'd expect. Here's where we get in trouble. There is a waist joint in there, but I'll be damned if you can make it do anything. Same for the torso joint. What's so strange about it is look in the material of his tunic. It's not super rigid. It's not a real like a hard plastic at all. It's like a pleather, but I can't get a damn thing out of that torso. And that goes even for the waist joint. I can barely get any twist out of it. So that kind of sucks. But ball jointed hips, not bad on the range forward, not bad on the range out, and I'd say decent on the double jointed knee. Again, I think that's the new joints are kind of impacting that. The ankles are good though. And there is a bit of boot swivel in there, despite being such a high shin boot. And there is a wire in both leading edges of his cape. So while I have no doubt that all of it's in there, you just really can't use it. And that's a shame, because for flight poses, if I could get him just to lean forward just a bit more, I think we'd be in business. Going through his accessories, we actually get a decent amount of stuff with him. See if I can get a zoom here. Let's take a look at this hammer first, and you get a look at the inscription on there. That is fantastic. And that looks like it's out of stone. You get two of these. The slight difference is on the handle. You have a hard plastic, and then you have a leather loop for the other one. And you have several effects for that hammer. Got a nice lightning strike effect here. Got a moving lightning effect there. They both look really good, actually. And you also have this sweet, dropping, bring the hammer down effect, which I think is particularly cool. But for some serious hammer options, you have these two different swappable hands. These are both for the right hand, and you can see that the handle is in slightly different positions on his fist, and that's so it can go with this spinning hammer effect. And we've seen this done before, but I think this is the best I've seen it done. Look how we transfer from solid to translucent. A lot of thought went into that. And, yep, it does work. And when it's in motion, it's a really cool effect. And to see it done in such a good way and have the option to have him hold it either in front of his fist or at the top of his hand is just a clever way of implementing it. It's also a fairly lightweight material, too, which is a very good idea. Almost forgot, there is one more effect for the hammer. There is this flame effect. Just clips on top like that. That is actually pretty cool, too. I like that. Again, very comic booky. All these effects definitely lean more toward the comic aesthetic. Then we have a yelling head portrait to go with his stoic head. Same kind of flexible hair. Like that a lot. Kind of flowing effect there. I'm going to bring these two side by side. If I can, see? Not too bad. Good looking head sculpts. So maybe not a huge loadout, but very effective. Let's fire through some size comparisons, because that's the other point of contention I've heard people bring up, is his overall size. Here he is with the newest Mezco 112 cap. And yeah, he is really only about maybe an eighth of an inch taller, which I think is fine for a classic Thor, but I am kind of wondering if for a more modern one, if they would need to go to, like, say, like a Doc Savage body or something like that. Here he is with my custom Hawkeye, which is on a Magneto body with some Marvel Legends parts. And, you know, if Hawkeye is your standard 5'11"-ish guy, I think this is a pretty solid scale. Back to Mezco, here is the Silver Centurion Iron Man. And as you can see, yeah, Iron Man is about, maybe, once again, about a sixth or an eighth taller than Thor, which, depending on your mileage, is right or wrong. I honestly can't say. But here he is with a similarly styled Legends one, and he is about the same height, which is cool because the Legends Iron Mans run about 6 3/4, if I remember correctly, and that feels like it's a decent scale. Here he is with the movie Thor Ragnarok, Thor, and as you can see, he is actually closer in size than I expected. He's bigger and broader and slightly taller, but they're more comparable than I had anticipated when I saw the figure solicited. And here he is, of course, with Supreme Knight Batman, who is very similar in size and height. Maybe that's where we kind of go a bit sideways. I don't think of Batman being as big as Thor, but this is their Dark Knight Returns Batman, so he should be bigger. So again, I'm kind of ambivalent on the height on this guy, but I can see where people might be kind of cranky about it. And lastly, here he is with the Man of Steel Superman, and that's a figure that I also feel like could have been a little bit bigger than he came out. But having these two side by side, they seem to scale well with each other. So if that's your bag, kind of going for that Silver Age, then I think we're okay. I mentioned this on my Instagram, and it's worth reiterating here because not everybody follows both platforms, and I frankly don't blame you. But I like the fact that this Thor seems to pair well with Legends figures. So if you wanted to put a good classic Thor in with your Avengers lineup of choice using your mix of Mezcos and Legends, this guy is an excellent candidate for that. And I think the style helps with that as well. So style and scale-wise, he's very easy to blend into a collection, especially with more classic-looking designs like Cap and Iron Man. So that's where we're at. Overall, like I said, I do like him. I think he's a solid figure. I can see where there's some issues, and the whole lack of being able to use the torso much does bring him down a bit. But he's still fun, and he looks great. So, as is customary, thank you to Mezco Toys for helping me get a copy of Thor to review for you guys, and thank you to you guys, as always, for watching the review. I hope it was informative, and I will see you again soon. Laters.